No Colossus, no problem. What's up, guys? Abe here, and today we have a Thunder Dragon deck profile. We did have this deck profile a while back with one of our homies. His name was Donovan. He had his own take on Thunder Dragon, Dino, Orcus bullshit, but that deck back in the day was pretty annoying. But obviously now a lot of things have changed because the ban list that's come out a few years ago, and then Colossus getting hit and all that junk. But yeah, so Thunder Dragon is still a very good rogue option, I believe, because it can just spit out monsters like nothing, especially big beaters. Obviously, we're going to be using the extra deck a lot because the extra deck helps us a lot with like Cross Sheep and Chaos Ruler and things like that. Especially when you mix Thunder Dragon with like Chaos monsters and the Chaos Engine, it can be pretty annoying, especially because some of the Thunder Dragons are light, some of them are dark, so that we have a way to manipulate. You can manipulate or kind of work around the whole light and dark thing. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. So for starters, probably in a lot of Thunder Dragon decks, you gotta play the triple Thunder Dragon. The broken thing about this card is that you don't have to search 2 Thunder Dragons. You could always just send one, you search one, and then obviously when you have Titan on the field, it lets you pop a card. And then you send another one, and you search the other one, and you pop another card. So it's kind of broken, especially when you just need like the one. Usually like one in the grave, especially for like your chaos stuff. It helps just to get rid of one and just search one, especially if you kind of want to have like a targeted deck for something, whether it be for any of your Thunder Dragon monsters, like when you want to special summon or search something. So yeah, so Thunder Dragon, it's pretty broken. An old card. Who would have thought an old card like that will still be viable to this day? We played triple Thunder Dragon Roar. So let me just read off what Roar does. So you discard this card, you can add to your hand one of your Thunder Dragons that is banished from your grave. So it's kind of like a little recursion. And then if it's sent from the field or banished, you can special summon a Thunder Dragon monster from your deck in defense. So with a lot of the Thunder Dragons monsters, you gotta like pick and choose which one you can do, because if you do one, you can't do the other. So you just gotta be really careful which one you want to do. Because once you resolve one, or once you activate one of them, you can't use the other one. So sometimes it can probably like mess up your line of play. One dark. So this one, you send it and you add another one of itself. So it's just more just to get like, especially when you have Titan on the field, get you like you send it, you search a dark, and then with Titan you pop. So it's just like an easy way to get a pop. When you have Titan on the field. But also, its second effect is if it is banished or sent from the field to the grave, you can add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand. So even searches out your fusion. That's going to be our main form of like fusion summoning in this deck. I mean, we're only going to really summon Titan. We don't run Dragoon package or anything like that. We're just trying to keep it as pure as possible. But Dark's a really good card. It searches out your other Thunder Dragons and stuff. For the little guys, we play double Dragon Matrix. This card's good, especially if you need to get over stuff. Or like I said, if you want to like when it comes to having Titan on the field, Titan's really broken because it's not a once per turning. You could just, if you have a bunch of Thunder Dragons in, you can just discard of them. You can discard like whatever, or let's say if it's dark, you discard the dark. You get its effect and you get a pop, so it's like pretty good. And like I said, with Dragon Matrix, helps you boost up your Thunder Dragon monster, or Thunder monster in general, and yeah, so it's just good to get over stuff. And also, if it's sent from the field or banished, you get to search another copy of itself. So yeah, so like I said, you just usually want to be pretty careful with the Thunder Dragons, because like I said, you have to use one or the other. Can't use both. For the last Thunder Dragon, we just play the one Hawk. Hawk's good because you can discard any special one from your grave, so it's good for that recursion, especially if you need that extra body on board, just to get back. Especially like you need to go into Cross Sheep or something like that. It's really good. And then its other effect, if you want to like kind of mulligan your hand, you can use that effect as well. But we probably don't use that too much unless like we have too many like Thunder Dragons in hand or something like that. That's probably the only time we would actually try to use that effect. Now we go on to kind kind of like your basically your normal summons of the deck. We're gonna start off with 2 Lupine and 2 Solar. The only reason why these are cut down to 2 each is because I'm running another card, which maybe not a lot of people might know of. Not saying it's like a spicy tech or anything, but it's just more about what you want your deck to do. Lupine is good because if you do have one in your hand, like another Thunder Dragon, you banish that one obviously, and then you banish another one from your deck. But let's say you don't have a Thunder Dragon in your hand, so Lupine can be kind of like eh. So that's why I just cut it down to 2. Solar is good because it kind of reminds me of like Raiden, you know, with I've seen a lot of deck profiles where they play Raiden. I would suggest playing that card too, especially if you don't want to run the Lupine or Solar or the other card I'm playing. Solar is good just to dump exactly what you need in the grave. So that's why we still play the Solar. And then Solar is still good because if you were to, let's say you have it on the field and you summon one of your Thunder Dragons from like Dragon Roar's effect or something, you at least get another, you get like a token. So that way you can use it for like links or whatever it is. So that's why I just play them at 2. Because the Solar is good to get a Thunder Dragon in the grave, just so like, especially if you have your Chaos stuff in your hand. Lupine is good if you really need to start with like the 2 monsters to go into like Crush Heap and all that stuff. So it just really depends what, like I said, how your hand is, and that's why, like I said, I cut them down to 2 each, just because, like I said, because there are gonna be those times where you do have all Thunder Dragons in your hand, but there's gonna be those times where you don't have any Thunder Dragons in your hand, and you kind of have to rely on your Chaos engine to start it, to make it start going. Now, for the one card I was talking about, play triple Metaphys Ragnarok. So the only reason why we're playing this card is because when it's normal or special summon, and it's an if, you banish the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, this card gains 300 attack for each Metaphys card banished by this effect. Obviously, we don't care about the attack gaining stat because we run other Metaphys cards, but the main part about this is that it banishes 3. So if you were to hit any of your Thunder Dragons, whether it be Roar, Dark, even Hawk, or whatever it is, that way you can get their effects. Kind of does what like Lupine does. You banish one from your hand and you banish the one you want from the deck. And the other reason why we play this card is because, one, it's a light, it's a level 4, and it's a tuner. So if you want to replace this with rating, you can if you like. But the thing with rating is that you kind of have to play like search cards for it. Obviously with this card it's a worm, so you can't really search it too easily. But I do like the fact that it banishes. And sometimes maybe you don't want to banish, or sometimes you want to send to grave, you want to banish, so you can just get it going out right away. So that's why I'm playing this card. And like I said, the fact that it's a level 4 tuner and it's a light, it just helps out. So like I said, depending on your personal preference, you can play Raiden or Ragnarok. Or if you want to max out on Lupine and Solar, you can. But I just like it because it's a tuner, and especially because we run Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler is a really good card in this deck. So for your Chaos stuff, we're going to play obviously the White Dragon and the Black Dragon. They're just really easy to summon. 1 Chaos Valkyria, just kind of the same thing. You probably don't want to use the second effect too much where you get to search. But usually we're just going to get it out on board just so we can get Swing Your Sinker really easily. And then for your big guys, we're going to play 1 Creator because it helps recycle stuff. Levineer because it can be like an extender, or it can like pop cards. Whatever you want Levineer to do, I mean like what you need it to do, it can do it for you. And then BLS, I decided to throw in BLS just because I feel like your opponent won't see it coming. And BLS is just an annoying ass card. So that's why I like playing it in this deck. Alright guys, now let's go on with the spells. So for spells, we are gonna run a lot of 1-ofs, but when it comes to our 3-ofs, I want to max out on fusion just because if let's say we can't like use Anaconda, or like we can't get to Anaconda or whatever it is, you just kind of want a hard fusion into Titan, you can. And also it searches, so it's like, you know, even if you dump it in the grave, it can still be pretty useful. But yeah, so I decided to max out on it just because it's a good card. For another 3-ofs, triple lore, obviously in this deck, a lot of stuff is dark. And then the fact that you get to banish, even more broken. So yeah, so you gotta play triple lore. For the last 3-of, It's in any chaos, not centric, but chaos-ish deck or anything that has a chaos aspect to it. Chaos Base is just a great card. Even if you were to send your Thunder Dragons from your hand, albeit they won't get their effects, but let's say you have them in the grave and then you can still use Fusion to shuffle them back in the deck or whatever, just because you just need the materials for it. And yeah, Chaos Base is just a broken ass card. For the 1-ofs, we're going to play Burial because, like I said, you just want to send stuff called by to either help your players go off or disrupt your opponent's plays. Upstart because 1,000 ain't shit for this deck. Fusion because we're still playing the Kaminari attack, so you just need the bodies on board. Obviously, if you did have Ready Fusion, I would maybe suggest playing that, but obviously in this deck we don't have that, especially because it's a more expensive-ish card. And then one Monster Reborn because Monster Reborn is Monster Reborn.
Let me get a little more.
I'll just stay up there until you finish.
Don't get spooked by the movie.
It's the last few, so.
Yeah.
Alright, ready?
Yes.
Alright, count you down again. And go 3, 2.
Alright guys, now for the extra deck, we're going to start with obviously Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. The card's broken because if you summon it, you excavate the top 5 cards, you add a light or dark monster, whatever you want it to be, and then the rest gets sent to the grave. Obviously in any Chaos deck, that's hella good. And then with Chaos Ruler, you can bring them back just by banishing a light and dark from your grave, and if you overlay with it, it goes back in the grave, obviously, right? So yeah, Chaos Ruler just does so many things for this deck when you can get it off. For Exceeds, we play 1 Minerva and 1 Hope Harbinger. So like, let's say if you don't go into the Chaos Ruler, or you already went into Chaos Ruler and you have like 2 level 4s out, Minerva's good because it helps you mill. It's kind of like with the Raiden. Like if you don't have Raiden in the deck and you kind of want to mill, you can use Minerva if you like. So that's why we have it. And obviously we don't have any Lightstorm cards, so you won't get any of its first effect where you get to draw, or second effect where you get to like pop cards. It's fine. You're gonna be popping out stuff once you get 10 on the field. So whenever, like I said, it just helps facilitate. It's kind of like when people used to play Curious in this deck, kind of like that. You just need it for the one thing. And then 1 Hope Harbinger. Obviously, this could be swapped out for like a Dingirsu if you want to use Dingirsu instead. So it just depends on personal preference, I guess. For links, we play a Link Karibo because if there are times where they do stop you from playing, if you have a Thunder Dragon Matrix, you go into Link Karibo, and Link Karibo can be an annoying card. For our Link 2s, IP Masquerena, Cross Sheep, and Verte. Verte, obviously, because it's broken as hell. Cross Sheep, it helps you extend. And then IP if you want to like make some Link really like, untouchable. And also just to have some kind of like disruption during your opponent's turn, like with a Unicorn or something like that. So that's how we play it. And then for generics, Phoenix and Unicorn, because they're like hella good. So why would you not play in this deck? And Unicorn obviously is really good with like IP, so that way you can do something during your opponent's turn. For Link 4s, we're going to play Apollosa, Boral Sword, and Access Code. Sometimes, like I said, when you go off, it's pretty easy to summon. Probably not going to summon 2 of them, but you're going to summon at least 1 of these guys. And obviously, depending, if you're going first or second, Apollosa helps you go first because you can set up a couple negates. Boral Sword if you want to like do a lot of damage, and then Access Code if you want to get them really big, and you can start like popping stuff and whatever. Yeah, so Access Code is Access Code. And then for the fusions, 1 Kaminari attack, obviously because it's an instant fusion target. And then for the last 2 cards, double Titan. I know they're mismatching rarities, but it is what it is. But yeah, Titan's just annoying. You can pop stuff, and then obviously if you want to save it, you banish any 2 cards from your grave. So like any of your spells that you've already used, free game. Or if you want to banish your Thunder Dragon stuff, so that way you can get their effects off, during your opponent's turn. Pretty broken. So yeah, like I said, I know it sucks that Colossus is not here, but Colossus is a very oppressive card. I am team no Colossus, but obviously Joe is team Colossus. But other than that, I still think Thunder Dragons as a deck is still dope. It's just the fact that they have an oppressive monster like Colossus is annoying. But having something like Titan is cool because, you know, you get to interact with your opponent and things like that. It has a very niche effect, you know. Not like Colossus that doesn't let you do shit. But other than that, thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure in the comments down below how you like to run your Thunder Dragons, what spicy text you like to play in your Thunder Dragons. Let us know what you think about the deck profile. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know, we be on there. Chatting it up with you guys. Make sure you hit us up on there. Make sure you check the TCG player link. If you want to buy any of these cards, if you ever want to build the deck yourself, use the link so you can get you can help, you know, support the channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day.